You ever go to your favorite pond and suddenly nobody's catching bass anymore? The pond didn't die. The bass didn't disappear. The pond just became overfished. Today I'm going to show you and talk to you about how to catch bass when nobody else can and when everybody else tells you that pond or that lake has been fished out. And let's just jump right into it. You know, I talked a lot about this, but we're talking about downsizing your baits. Now, I'm going to give you a tip. When you go to these ponds, these high-pressured public ponds, bank fishing, and these ponds have been fished out, they're highly pressured, nobody's catching them, you have to downsize. When I talk about downsizing, I'm talking about it starts at home. It starts about when you're packing that tackle box, before you jump in the car, even before you even think about getting in the car, you go in your tackle box and take all those loud lures out. Take away the bladed swim jigs, the crankbaits, the lipless crankbaits, the top waters. Don't even take them. You do not even want to put them in your bag. We're talking about natural presentation. We're talking about smaller lures, right? We're talking about, you know, the weightless tequila sunrise. Yes, sir, all day long, son. Yes, sir, the tequila sunrise, Berkeley power worm. You know, but it doesn't really matter which finesse bait you use, a shaky head, a wacky rig. It doesn't matter, a Ned rig. It's all about downsizing, downsizing, and downsizing. So you want to pack your tackle box with those types of finesse lures. Telling you, please don't even take those top waters, those loud lures, and put them in your bag. Keep them at home, use them for a different day, a different situation, because it's not going to cut it, son. It's not going to get it done, son. It's all about downsizing. It's all about the natural presentation. The second one is fish feeding windows. I talked about it for years. I've been doing this for over 35 years. And I've been doing sonar tables for over 30 years. I have done it, and I am telling you, it will help you tremendously. Especially when the water's cold, like we are now for most part of the country. I try to plan my whole week around a major fishing time. I know I have 3 hours of major fishing time. I try to find a day that I can get out and I can fish that whole 3 hours. That's giving me my best opportunity. Now, there's no guarantee. There's no guarantees in bass fishing, but it's gonna help you tremendously. You know, there's apps, I've talked about apps, I've done videos on it, you know, timetables. You can look it up. You can look it up by zip code. You can ask ChatGPT. You say, hey, I live in zip code, whatever your zip code you live in. Hey, can you give me the feeding times? And it'll give you the feeding times for the day. It'll give you feeding times for the next week, or next month, or whatever. Plan your fishing trips around major feeding times. If you can't hit a major feeding time, try to hit a minor feeding time. A lot of the sonar tables will give you a percentage. It's all about the moon overhead, moon underhead. We're not going to get into it again. I've done a ton of videos on it, but there is percentages. And if I know that, hey, Monday is only at 60%, but I know if I can get out there on Friday and it's at 90%, well, I'm going to plan my week around that 90. It's only going to help you. Feeding times, downsizing lures is going to be a game changer, son. Getting it done all day long. Catch a big bass after big bass. Yes, sir. Let's go. Fishing early morning or late evening. Most people in these public ponds, high pressure public ponds, are usually coming in mid-morning all the way up until supper time. And you get a few here and there in the evening. But really, try to go when nobody else is there, especially early morning before the sun comes up. Now, I typically, in the morning, I'm out by 5:30 in the morning. I barely see the sun coming up. I can barely see the pond. I'm fishing, and that's when I start fishing, 5:30 in the morning. I know I have a great window between 5:30, tell you like 3-4 hours, that before people start coming in. The bass know that. They just went through the nighttime. There's no pressure. They have a tendency to move up a little. They have a tendency not to become so finicky, as I say, and it gives you a better opportunity. Fishing at nighttime. I've talked about this before. If you can get out there and fish at nighttime, I know you'd be like, at nighttime? Yeah. I did it a lot when I was growing up. Have a lantern. Me and my dad would go out, have a lantern. All right, put a lantern out, put a little light out, and we would fish. There was a bass angler down in Alabama. Yeah, he caught over 1,000 bass over 10 pounds. He holds a world record for the most bass over 10 pounds. And that guy only fished at nighttime. And he says that all the years he fished, he's only remember seeing one other person on the pond, right? And that was his strategy, and it worked. The guy caught over 1,000 bass over 10 pounds. It was at nighttime. If you can do fish at nighttime, fish at nighttime. I'm telling you, you're gonna have tremendous success. Just getting it done. Check out the barometer. Again, you go on your weather app, it's on there. I've done videos on it. Right before a storm, right before it rains, even when it starts raining, you have that little window. Bass get active. They get more aggressive. It's a great time to fish. So feeding times, barometer, early morning or late at night or even at nighttime is really gonna help you catch bass in these high pressure public ponds that are overfished. Middle of the day is also one of those, like there's a window in the middle of the day when you got those morning anglers leaving and then the afternoon anglers coming in. Again, when I go to these ponds, I'm always trying to pay attention to when people coming into the parking lot. You know, especially if I could drive past it throughout the day, I always take a look and I'm like, there doesn't seem that many cars there. Okay, hey, maybe it's died down. And typically, it's early morning, in that middle of the day, and then again, late in the evening, going into the nighttime. That's when people typically aren't there. It's gonna help you be more successful. Slowing down your presentation. You know, I've talked about this. It's my whole theory on weightless and why I go weightless, because it is so slow. I always say slow, and slower. When you think you're going slow enough, you're probably not slow enough. And that's why I say slow. You have to give time for bass to react. That's why I keep on saying, don't use top water. If you're going to these overfished ponds, you know, and you're fishing top water, I'm sorry, I'm being honest with you, you're not gonna catch bass. If you do, you're gonna be lucky and your success isn't gonna be great. You have to give them time to see it, to react to it. It does take time. They want that natural presentation. Pick spots in the pond that you know hold bass. Back coves, weed lines, out deep, ledges, you know, rocky parts of the pond, lily pads, cattails. Those are all great places that bass hold tight to. And when you take your time and you fish those spots and you slow it down and you don't fish those fast moving lures, those loud lures, your success is gonna go through the roof. I guarantee you. Changing your angles. I talk about this all the time, a progression of cast, right? When I talk about a progression of casting, I typically go from left to right. I go boom, 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 right? I pick up my bag and go, and I'm moving to my right. When I go to my right, I'm gonna go all the way to the furthest place I cast it to my right. Then I'm gonna go boom, 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 boom. And that's my progression of cast. But when we talk about angles, if I'm going here, right, and I'm going there, boom, boom, boom. Sometimes I'll switch it up and I'll go over and I'll go to my left and I'll just make a cast back to where I already fished. And I change my angle. I brought the bait this way, from my left to my right. And then I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna try a couple, especially on cattails and lily pads, grass lines. Anything that I know bass are gonna really hold tight to, I'm gonna go to my left, and then I'm gonna cast back to my right, and now I just cover that water but I changed my angle. And I could tell you so many different stories of the success I had, especially in grass. I fish a lot of grass, a lot of hydrilla, a lot of different vegetation. And when you change that angle, I'm like, boom, I came across, I switch, I go back, I walk down to my left, I'm just gonna make a couple casts. And I go back, I'm like, boom, 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 3 casts. And now I know I covered at both angles. I can't tell you how many times I have done that and I've gotten bass. I'm like, it's an angle. It's where and how they are faced in that in that vegetation, in the cattails, in the lily pads. When we start talking about vegetation, it's all about angles. If a bass is pointing one way and you're casting, you bring it across, you have good odds. If that bass is pointing towards you, left to right, and I'm casting left to right, I'm bringing that across, most likely I'm not going to catch that bass. But now if I switch my angle, and I'm gonna switch, go down, switch, cast it out, now I'm bringing it out right in front of it. And when you have that slow presentation, you're giving it enough time for that finicky bass to actually react to it. And that's what angles are all about. So when I go through a progression, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I go through, I'm done with that area. I'm not going to recast and go boom, boom, boom. I'm keep on casting to my left. Keep on. It's one cast. One cast. I am done with that area. Now, I'm going to switch my angle. I'm going to walk to my left. I'm going to cast 1, 2, 3, and I'm done. Now I know I covered that area. I covered my angles. Now I'm going to go back, pick up my bag. I'm going to go to my right, and I'm going to continue that same progression of casts throughout every spot I fish. And that's what changing angles is all about. That's how you get it done, son. That is how you get it done. That's what angles are all about. It's super easy when you're fishing from a bank. Change your angles up. All right, just gonna recap. We're talking about downsizing. I'm finesse fishing. I'm downsizing. I'm a slow presentation. When I talk about feeding windows, it gives you a better opportunity. There is no guarantee just because you fish a major feeding time that you're gonna catch them. There's more to it than just casting out there and just hoping that, hey, I'm in feeding time, they're gonna hit anything I throw. That's not how it works. But it gives you a great opportunity. Hit that pond, get out there, and get about 45 minutes before that window. Work through that major feeding time, you're gonna get it done. Change up the times you fish. Fish at nighttime if you can. Fish early in the morning if you can. Fish in the afternoon. Plan your fishing trips around those things. It's gonna help the success. Change your angles. I'm telling you, it's all about angles. Mix it up, mix your casting up. Have a progression of how you go through your casting. Me personally, like I said, I go left to right. It's typically how I do it. It's just something that I do. I don't know why I don't go right to left, but I typically go left to right. This is the way I do it. I have no idea. Couldn't tell you why. But all I know is I always go left to right because I know that's my progression. I just don't willy-dilly cast all over the place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, done. Pick up my bag and go. Change up my angles. Maybe walk to my left. Cast back to my right. Change the angle. 1, 2, 3. There's my 3 casts. Now I know I worked that section. Now I'm good to go. Now I'm going to start working that pond. Or I'm going to go to the next spot that I want to fish. It makes a difference. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. When you go out and fish in these ponds that everybody tells you is fished out, nobody can catch bass there, you follow these tips, I guarantee you, you'll be successful. Catching biggins after biggins all day long, son. Yes, sir, all day long. Yes, sir, getting it done. That's how you do it. Do these things. It'll help you be more successful. You'll be better. Hey, and you'll just enjoy going out fishing more, and you'll be locked in, and that's just your success will go through the roof, and that's what it's all about. All right, hey, if you're new to the channel, I greatly appreciate you sticking around to this point. Don't forget to hit that subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification. If you're already a subscriber, again, I greatly appreciate it. Comment down below. Drop a comment down. What is your best strategy for ponds that are overfished or fished out? Let me know. I'd love to hear it, and let's have a conversation around it. Check out all the links are down below. Go check out the merch store. Go check it out. Go check out the memberships. It really helps grow the channel. I greatly appreciate it. And I'll catch you next time on Getting It Done Fishing.